Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lakers take care of game two. 101-94 was the score tonight. The LA Lakers take a stranglehold in the series, go up 2-0, but they don't give us series wins for 2-0 leads. We've seen those blown before, so we need to stay hungry. We need to stay focused. We need to stay desperate, as LeBron just said. That desperation that we expect Houston to come with, we need to match it again. We're still down both our stars, and we've taken a stranglehold, but we're not out of the woods. And there were some things that we did tonight that we can improve upon, and there's some energy that we can leave in Los Angeles and not take with us on a flight. Let's get into the stats, and then we'll talk a little more about this fantastic victory for the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, first quarter, Lakers 33, Rockets 26. Second quarter, Lakers 21, Rockets 25. Third quarter, Lakers 21, Rockets 17. Fourth quarter, Lakers and Rockets both 26 points. Team stats, Lakers shot 46% from the field, 33 of 72. Rockets shot 40%, 36 of 89. Lakers shot 46% from three, 13 of 28. The Rockets 24%, 7 of 29. Lakers shot 79% from the free throw line, 22 of 28. Rockets also 79%, 15 of 19. Rockets had 42 boards, Lakers had 37. Rockets had 17 offensive boards, Lakers had 9. 23 assists for the Rockets, 21 for the Lakers, 8 steals for the Rockets, 11 steals for the Lakers, 6 blocks for the Rockets, 5 for the Lakers, 15 turnovers for both teams, 16 points conceded off of the turnovers for the Rockets, 15 points conceded off of the Lakers turnovers. So we had 11 steals, forcing 15 turnovers. You got to feel really good about our defense tonight in this playoff matchup. Fast break points, 20 for the Rockets, 17 for the Lakers, 54 points in the paint for the Rockets, 34 for the Lakers. Largest lead of the game for the Lakers was 15. We led 80% of the time. And for the Rockets, it was 4. They led 16% of the time. All right, Kevin Durant, 41 minutes, 23 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 8 of 9 from the line, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 turnovers for Kevin Durant. 1 steal, 1 block, 2 offensive rebounds, -2. Our defense on him has been stellar, not only in this game, but in the other 2 games as well. When we went to their building, JJ has an understanding of what needs to be done when it comes to scheming against Kevin Durant, and has defended Kevin Durant as well as any coach I've ever seen. This is one of the best schemes I've ever seen against Kevin Durant, and part of that is because the rest of Kevin's team is not much of a threat, so we can just crowd him out. But whatever the case may be, JJ is throwing a million different looks at him, and this 9 turnover in the playoff games, I think that you need to give JJ credit for that. Just the schemes that he's throwing at this man has been fantastic. Jabari Smith, 39 minutes, 18 points, 7 of 16 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 0 steals, 1 block, 1 offensive board, -11. Sengun, 35 minutes, 20 points, 9 of 20 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 4 steals, 2 blocks, 5 offensive boards, +1. Not an efficient night, but 6 stocks is pretty crazy there. 5 offensive boards. He definitely contributed a lot to his team, but his inefficiencies and missing chippies and stuff like that is ultimately something that we're appreciating a lot. Josh Okogie, 24 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 offensive board, -4. Eamon Thompson, 42 minutes, 16 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 1 from 3, 4 of 5 from the line, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 offensive board, +1. His defense, his pressing defense was really difficult for us. It says he has only 1 steal, but I thought he contributed to more turnovers than what was able to be seen in the stats there. He was really, really hard to deal with for our ball handlers tonight, and will continue to be for the duration of this series. So, yeah, his stats don't really tell the story. I thought he was better than that. All right, Tate, 9 minutes, missed his only 3-point attempt, 1 rebound, 1 offensive board, -4. I expect for him to play better back in Houston, so we need to prepare for an eventual Jae'Sean Tate game. He's better than this. He's a lot better than this. Tari Eason, 27 minutes, 10 points, 4 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 block, 5 offensive boards, -4. Now you see why I was so happy that we won the game where he didn't miss a shot, because this is kind of more so on the lower end of what you expect from Tari Eason. 4 of 14 from the field is terrible. I don't expect for him to play this poorly back at the Toyota Center either. But it's good that we were able to bend both of these matchups where he played great and played poorly, pretty much, or shot poorly, rather. He actually only turned the ball over once and had 8 rebounds, which was a large contributor to the Rockets, but his inefficiency helped us a lot. Clint Capella, 5 minutes, 0 of 3 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 block, -9. Aaron Holiday, 7 minutes, 0 of 3 from both 3 and field, 1 rebound, 1 steal, -4. And Reed Shepherd missed all 4 of his field goals and missed all 3 of his threes in 11 minutes. 3 assists, 1 steal, +1. So yeah, like Reed Shepherd's going to play a lot better. Tari Eason's going to play a lot better. Deshaun Tate, I expect to play better. Holiday, Capella, all of those people, Aaron, their bench is going to be more productive in their building. So we need to account for that. But their bench continued to struggle as usual. Very, very inefficient shooting night, to say the absolute least. And their bench struggles are a problem, man. They only scored 94 points. I told y'all, we can get away with scoring 115 points every game in this series and win this series. Only took 101 points to beat them tonight. In fact, it didn't even take that much. We could have beat them with 95 points tonight. It's just a bad offensive team, Rockets are. Whether they got KD or not, they're a bad offensive team. And if you play the type of defense that we've been playing, hounding them and having urgency and desperation on that defensive end, they have a hard time with that. They have a real hard time with that. And if you're not turning the ball over, they have even less points than this. We turned the ball over in some unnecessary ways, which allowed for them to get the points they got. They wouldn't have had even that amount, to be honest with you. All right, let's check out what's going on the Lakers side of things. LeBron James, 39 minutes, 28 points, 8 of 20 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 10 of 14 from the line, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 offensive board, +6. The King was really good tonight. I wanted him to hit more of his free throws. 10 of 14, missed 4 of them. I know he was upset with himself for missing a chippy on a couple of layups. He could have been a lot more efficient tonight, to be honest with you, but the energy was there. The desperation was there. The leadership was there. The energy was exerted in positive ways. 3 turnovers could have been a little better, but the pressure was on against him. I thought he played an excellent basketball game. The stats don't really tell the story, but 28 points is pretty impressive. One of the best dunks we've seen him do in a Laker uniform. Arguably, the reverse jam that he had in that second quarter, I believe it was awesome. Still doing this at 41 years of age, leading this team. That was very, very impressive as usual. And was a leader out there. We needed him. And the way he handled his ball pressure was pretty good, too, for the most part, because we were really having a lot of trouble out there. They forced us to work the ball around amongst multiple people every time we tried to work the ball up from full court. And so the pressure they put on, I thought we handled well as a unit, and we'll need to continue to handle it well in order to win this series, because that was the story. The adjustment that they made that I was able to notice was just the pressure they put on us full court. Some of our players handled it better than others. LeBron, I thought, handled it pretty well. Rui Hachimura, 43 minutes, 13 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 offensive board, 0 to ±. Rui hit some huge shots. I love what he did there. 5 boards is a bit of an improvement, but for 43 minutes, I would love for him to just contribute a bit more in the rebounding column. And I thought some of his mistakes were a little frustrating. He made up for all of them. But there were some frustrating mistakes out there, some defensive rotation issues down the stretch. Just a few things on the defensive end I thought were a little frustrating. There were some IQ issues out there with Rui, but ultimately he made up for it by being extremely efficient. DeAndre Ayton, 27 minutes, 6 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 offensive board, -5. He did just enough to contribute. I think we got away with this game for Ayton. I thought his defense against Sengun was pretty good. The offensive end, they were swarming him. We kind of cut his minutes back a little bit too, which I thought was intentional. Got Jackson Hayes worked in a little more, and it worked out for us. So this was not a wonderful game for Ayton, but it wasn't a horrible game for Ayton either. Good enough. Just enough, really, is what I'd say. Marcus Smart gets the game ball from me tonight. 35 minutes, 25 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 4 of 5 from the line, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, 5 steals, 1 block, 1 offensive board, +3. He was all over the place tonight. I really like what I saw from him. The efficiency from behind the arc came early and kept us going. He had a big corner 3 down the stretch of this game. He had countless amounts of opportunities to defend and draw charges and take contact on the defensive end. Some calls went his way, some didn't, but he was a part of so much good. I wish he would cut down on the antics just a little bit, because it can get us in foul trouble when they don't work out. Sometimes it doesn't. But overall, I just thought he was extremely essential to us being able to capture this win at home. 6 stocks, 7 assists, you know what I mean? 5 of 7 from 3, 8 of 13 from the field. Only missed 1 free throw. I mean, his efficiency was helpful on both sides of the floor tonight, essential on both sides of the floor tonight. I can't say enough about how good he was, and he also handled pressure fairly well for the most part. As I recall, they were pressuring him, and as one of our main ball handlers, he did have some times where he did turn the ball over in that situation, but for the most part, he, LeBron, and others were very, very intentional on overcoming that severe and intense pressure, and I thought he was extremely essential in making that happen. He is just such an important piece to what makes us a cohesive basketball team. Whether Luka and Austin are out there or not, we do not function very well without this player. When we do have him, we are able to do a lot of things on both sides of the floor that just aren't possible without him. So, if anything, he was the MVP tonight. I just do not think we would have had half the basketball game as a team tonight if we didn't have his contributions to the floor on both sides. So, yeah, that's where the game ball goes. He definitely bounced back from the last one where I thought he did not play really well. This one he definitely did, and his shooting and his scoring was super essential to what we had available to us tonight. Luke Kennard, 42 minutes, 23 points, also 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 2 turnovers, 1 offensive board, +2. He was also a candidate for game ball, of course. The Rockets, I don't think they quite get it yet with Luke Kennard. This is the second game in a row where he scored over 20 points on them on high efficiency. And they just leave him open, and they put people like Aaron Holiday on him and let Aaron Holiday just get cooked. And, you know, he beat them on so many open shots tonight. It was kind of like, yo, y'all really ain't getting it, are you? Like, Ime Udoka is slow to understand that Luke Kennard is like our second, probably most important scorer in this series. While Luke and Austin's out, he's our second option, and they're not defending him like he is. It's rather helpful, really. I just think his efficiency has been off the charts as expected, but with the volume that he's taken on, the efficiency still remains. If this continues, I don't know how we are able to keep him. We're going to have to pay this guy $30 million a year if he keeps this up for the rest of the playoffs and we get deep into the playoffs. I can't say enough about Luke Kennard. Trading for him was such a good thing that Rob Pelinka decided to do, not only in getting rid of Gabe Vincent, who I feel if he was on this team right now in Luke's stead, we wouldn't have won any of these games. But that we brought in Luke Kennard means that we have an option to go to that can be hyper efficient, that can handle some ball handling duties, that is careful with the ball, takes care of shot selection. I'm not going to say careful with the ball because he had some unnecessary turnovers out there on pressure, the 8-second violation. He needs to get better at that stuff. But as it pertains to precisely choosing the right shots to take, he may be one of the best selectors of shots that I've ever seen in a role-playing situation. I've seen superstars that don't select shots as well as he does. And I just think that most pure shooters should study Luke Kennard's shot selection and choices because he makes sound and careful decisions with what shots he's choosing to take. I just think he's elite at that. One of the best I've ever seen at it. And I think we should jump through hoops trying to make sure we keep this guy, man. And I think he should want to be here too, because he has been on several other teams and has never been able to showcase himself like this. He's never had the role that the Lakers are able to offer him. He's never shined like he has in this uniform. And if I'm him, I probably want to stay here just as bad as the Lakers should want to keep him. I think he should be a very, very elite priority for us behind signing, of course, Austin Reeves. And, I think when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the things that has really worked for us is taking hyper-efficient scorers, guys who are just known for shooting a high percentage. Going into this draft, I would say let's continue on that path. Obviously, we need to address specific things, wing and the center position. But if for some reason we're not able to get what we want at the 25th overall pick, the next trait that I think the Lakers should be seeking out with that pick is guys who are likely hyper-efficient shooters or scorers, guys that are just going to make shots at a high percentage. I think that's really working for us. We found it with Ayton. We found it with Luke Kennard. We found it with Rui Hachimura. And as a team who's been bitten bad in these playoffs 3 years ago because we couldn't out-execute the Denver Nuggets, we've turned our attention to make sure that we've put these hyper-efficient players on our team. And I think that is the way forward, to out-execute teams. Because I'm telling you, this Laker team, if this was a Laker team from 3 years ago, we would have probably not been able to do what we needed to do to win a game like this because we just didn't have as efficient scorers. We would go on longer scoring droughts. We wouldn't execute as well down the stretch. We probably would have lost a game like tonight with this type of defense going against us. For what it is that we're trying to do in free agency, and for the choices that we have in front of us, who do we re-sign, who do we not? I'm starting to think it makes a lot of sense to value keeping our hyper-efficient shooters. Rui Hachimura, Luke Kennard, even DeAndre Ayton to an extent, though we can probably improve our center position. I just want to say that we should continue to aspire to out-execute teams. That's what comes to mind. We just want to be able to out-execute teams. When you look at these good teams in this league, they have hyper-efficient scorers. You look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, they got Isaiah Joel. They got guys like that who just aren't going to miss. And whatever the hell they're doing, they're not missing very much. And that is an underrated thing that we have done that should be given more credit. Rob should be given a lot more credit for targeting those players and making sure they're on this team, and we should continue to do so into the offseason. Hyper-efficiency, don't let that go. And we are tired of some of the stuff that we've seen from Rui Hachimura, but at the end of the day, he don't miss much. He really doesn't miss much. And when you don't have Austin and Luka out there, one of the reasons why you're as good as you are is because he's shooting 50% from both the 3 and field in a game like this. Luke Kennard is shooting over 50% from the 3 and field in a game like this. Marcus Smart happens to have a highly efficient game, and suddenly you win a playoff game that you probably can't win unless they're that efficient. So this is, our bench hardly gave us any scoring. The people we leaned on were hyper efficient against tough defense. Not too many teams would have won a game like this. Not too many teams, and it's because they wouldn't have that type of efficiency on the floor. So, yeah, I want us to stay targeting that type of player. Stay targeting them. All right, Luke Kennard, excellent game, man. Let's keep it up. We're gonna need that same stuff on the road. This game has to travel. You're too important right now, and what you're doing is too important. They're gonna throw more defense at you at some point. Ime Udoka is gonna make the adjustment, and you're gonna have to handle pressure better. The way they pressured you in the half-court situation, turned the ball over far too many times. You got to have it in your mind you're a point guard now. So the clock is important, the 8-second clock, your ball handling, moving the ball around to make sure it goes to other players so that they can't take it from you. Getting the ball out of his hands. We got to have players come to him. When Amen Thompson is pressuring him, I think we could look at some of the tape from this game tonight and make the adjustment so that we will have a better go at it. Because there's only so many possessions we can give up before it starts to cost us in this series. We got away with it tonight, and I thought we were fair at it tonight, but they're going to turn it up even more. And so that's what I will say. Vanderbilt, 14 minutes, missed all 3 of his field goals, missed both his threes, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 offensive board, +8. I thought he helped us defensively. Some of those key plays were essential. The rebounding could be better. I pride Vando on being a better boarder than he's been, but in 14 minutes, 5 boards, pretty solid. Missing the shots were a little tough, but it didn't hurt us too bad in the end because we had such hyper-efficient shooters elsewhere. So I thought overall Vando was a help, and it showed in the plus-minus. But it would be great if the shot would fall on nights like this where they're leaving him open intentionally. He has to make them pay. So this was a I think what you got from Vando is what you can expect from Vando. But we're not gonna have 8-13 shooting from Marcus Smart every night. So the efficiency has to be made up in other players, and if it doesn't, we don't score enough points to beat them tonight. So that's why I'm saying Vando has to make his shots. Jake LaRavia, I don't know what the hell's going on. Seriously, Jake LaRavia is really frustrating me, man. He's frustrating me. 16 minutes, 0-2 from the field, 0-1 from 3. 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 1 offensive board, +8. Those 16 minutes were pretty bad, man. And I see the block, I see the offensive board. The energy was pretty solid. It's always solid with him. But the 3-point shot that he took was wide left. And I guess you got to judge him and Vanderbilt the same way. But I expect more from from LaRavia from an offensive standpoint. I don't have high hopes for Vanderbilt scoring the ball or doing things on the offensive end. LaRavia, I've seen score a lot. I've seen him hit 5 threes in one game. I've seen him go for 28 points. That stretch, the start of the season, where he was starting as our small forward, scoring left and right. I don't know where the hell that player is, man. The player that went up against Ant-Man and Ant-Man was wondering who the hell he was. Where is that person? On the high end of our team building, we've been able to find these hyper-efficient players, and I pointed out. On the low end of our team building, we've been able to find these guys that just don't have any confidence. Jake LaRavia, Dalton Connect. We've talked about this. People who are just like, they don't really know if they believe in themselves. They don't really know if they should be here or not. They don't really know if their skills or what they've been doing their whole life is going to show up when they need it to. That type of trait needs to be removed from the team. We're doing great in the area that I said. We need to do much better with our role players and ensure that the people that we bring in this team have a certain confidence about themselves that is unwavering. As you see, that works for us with Marcus Smart. We've obviously seen that work with the great Kobe Bryant. That trait works for the Laker organization. This here, not really sure about myself. We've seen that in players in the past as well. It's a trait that doesn't work in our organization. So we need to bring more of what does work to us, study what doesn't work, and remove it. Because throughout the course of 30 years, I'm seeing certain things that just like keep continuing to come to our organization. And one of them is this type LaRavia Connect stuff. It's like, we've seen it dating back to Kwame Brown. It's like, we need these people who are confident, man, who know they belong. Malik Beasley, he put on this uniform and suddenly forgot how to shoot like this. We have got to stop allowing people like that to put on our uniform. I'm just being honest. And look, Jake LaRavia has been helpful as a banshee. During certain times of the season, I felt great about him. I was happy we brought him on. He's played 82 games, so clearly he's the only player on this team that has played each and every game this season. There's a lot of good that Jake has done this season. I don't want to just poo-poo the entire season, but this is a playoff game, bro. You're on the floor for 16 minutes. 2 of our stars are absolutely not there, and you give me 2 shot attempts, miss both of them, 1 3-point attempt, it wide left, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and 1 block. I mean, that production is disgusting, bro. And if I expected that from you, that would be I would just glaze over it and move on. But that I've seen you put up damn near triple doubles earlier in the season, and I've seen you have a stretch where you were so good of a player that I put you on my fantasy team. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at, and I'm offended by it. I'm literally offended by this performance because I know he can do better. With all due respect, I don't expect any better from Vando. This is all I expect from Vando. I expect better from Laravia, and that's the difference. And that he's playing like this in these playoffs is not Laker worthy, bro. This is not Laker worthy, young fella. I'm just being honest, man. And as a Banshee, somebody who says they were a Laker fan, I need him to play better. He has to play better in these playoffs, bro. You can't continue to play like this and expect people to want to bring you back to the unit, man. It's not reasonable to expect us to accept this nonsense from you, dog. No, this is bad. This is bad. The last game, I don't remember what it was, but I'd imagine it wasn't great. He needs to go on the road and play better, man. He needs to. I'm on his case. And we do need to, in the offseason, if this continues, if this is how it's going to be for Laravia, we got to get a better Banshee, man. We got to get better Banshees. I don't know how we're going to address that. I think Banshees are important. Wings that can defend and do the dirty work, they're very important. But we must upgrade. We have to upgrade, though. This is not going to fly. Especially if they're going to be two of our top bench guys at Vanderbilt and Laravia. They help us. We got away with it. But if this were a reasonable team we were going up against with an actual offense, we'll get blown out by 30 tonight. You go up against OKC, you get blown out by 50 tonight. You need players who can contribute in the scoring column as well as the Banshee stuff. You got to be able to do both. We can't have 0 for Gophers out of both our Banshees. 7 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, and 2 offensive rebounds out of both of these guys in a total of 32 minutes. Nah, bro. They got to be better. Jackson Hayes, 21 minutes, 6 points, 1 of 2 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 2 offensive boards, plus 12. I thought he was awesome. He led the team in plus minus tonight. We got away with putting him on the floor. In the last game, we felt like we couldn't because he was getting outplayed, but we used him differently tonight. We put him on Kevin Durant at times down the stretch, and I thought his defense was good. His energy was awesome. Three stocks, 2 offensive boards. He was battling out there. No turnovers, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, 4 or 5 from the free throw line. We definitely appreciate that type of efficiency from him. He tends to struggle from the line. I thought we got away with putting him on the floor and even more so thrived when he was out there. So it was a really, really encouraging to feel like we can get him involved in this series and that he can continue to play well. It's been his career year for certain. And this was the type of performance that I was hoping to see from him in the minutes given. And we just want to continue to see him do this, man. This has been a good season, So it would be a damn shame if he had a bad playoffs. This game really, really kept him on the right track, and I love what I saw from him. And Bronny James, 3 minutes, 0 of 1 from the field, 1 turnover, plus 1. He's not ready. Bronny's not ready for this type of situation. He's not ready, bro. He should not be our 9th guy in this series. I understand the politics. It's Bron's son. It's playoff time. I get it. But no. He should not be the 9th guy off this bench. We should probably go in a different direction with that. Maybe Nick Smith, maybe Adu Thero, maybe Maxi Kleber. But Bronny James, he's not somebody we can trust right now in this situation, I don't believe. Too shaky at this point. He's working. He'll be there. I think he'll get there. I'm not saying Bronny shouldn't be on the team. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that right now, can't trust him. Can't trust him on this basketball floor right now. Not in this situation. G League situation, regular season situation, garbage time situations, yes. Playoff games, tight games with Kevin Durant on the floor? No. So, it's a lot of criticism for this Laker team tonight, but we did get the victory, man. Hyper efficiency from our main guys. We gave a lot of minutes to some people tonight. I don't know how we're going to get away with that for much longer. We're going to have to scale back a little bit. Luke Kennard getting 42 minutes. Rui Hachimura 43 minutes. Bron 39 minutes. What I'm worried about at this point is those guys going down. While we're waiting for this, for LeBron, for Luka and Austin to come back, we're going to end up losing those guys because we're overusing them. So we have to find a way to be productive while still utilizing more of our bench coach, or I'm afraid your injury woes are only going to increase. That's the concern, bro. We won these first 2 games, but you got to be able to make it through 7 of them. And believe me, you run these guys into the ground right now. By game 6, game 7, some of them may not be available to you. We got to keep that in the back of our mind. If we can win this series in 4, that'd be wonderful. But we're emptying the clip on our energy in these first 2 games, and it's a long series. It is what it is. So I would tell Coach, you might want to try to buy some rest for some of these guys, not full rest, but you should try to scale back on some of their minutes over on the road trip. Should. And I think you'll benefit from it if you do. So, love this game. Love this win. We secured ourselves a Game 6, which was my goal. But now that we have a 2-0 lead, our urgency should be to close this series out for the exact reason that I just described. We're playing people too many minutes. We have bench players we cannot trust. And the last thing you want to do is have any more players go down. So the best way to assure that doesn't happen is to take care of business and close the series out early. We're a long way away from any closeout conversations. Game 3 is a pivotal game no matter what. I've seen many series where the first team wins the first 2 games and then a team strings together 4 wins and you're out of here. You thought you were up in the series, suddenly you go home. I've seen it a million times. This would not be abnormal. So the Lakers need to keep a certain urgency and desperation going into Game 3 to assure that they put an absolute stranglehold on this series and don't allow the Rockets to take care of home court. We took care of what we're supposed to when it comes to mentality of playoffs basketball. You have home court advantage, you win both of your games at home. Cool. The series doesn't start until the road team wins, and that's yet to take place. So, if they win both of their games, we're back to square one. We need to assure that they're not able to. We believe at this point that we have the remedy. We believe that they've shown a lot of what it is that they're capable of. They don't have a whole lot in their wheelhouse because they don't have a whole lot of bench power just like we don't. They got to beat us the way that they're essentially attacking us right now because they don't really have too many more options. We're the better team. We have more options. We have a more complete roster. They can't beat us if we do what we're supposed to do. That's what this has proven us. 2 games have shown us that. But if we get cocky and start thinking we've won the series because of it, you could lose a game and then find yourself with them back in the series with confidence. They could have won this game tonight. That's the bottom line. They could have. We did enough to win it, but it wasn't like we were dominant. So we need to respect that if they did some things a little better, this is a different game. If we did things a little worse, this is a different game. The urgency that you brought to this basketball game is the only urgency that's going to win you this series. If you scale back on your urgency, your desperation, even a little bit, you lose. And so we need to understand that what's working for us must be continued. And that's really the mentality, man. That's the mentality. What's working for us has to be continued. So, a lot to study with this tape, man. A lot to study with this tape, but I love how we played defense tonight. This is some of the best defense we've seen in a couple of weeks. 11 steals, forcing 15 turnovers is awesome. Continuing to shoot above 40% from behind the arc and the field is awesome. I think the stats might have switched up here. 46% from the field, 46% from 3. Was that what I said? Or did they update the stats? I don't remember. I'll check. You guys tell me. But whatever the case may be, we did good. We got to the line enough times. I think we battled on the boards enough to feel good. This is one of the great rebounding teams in the league, so we're not overly surprised to see them connect on some of those boards, but I thought we hustled hard, and their talent got them those opportunities. Our hustle kept them from the ones that ultimately would have won them the game, though, and I thought we fought extremely hard on the boards throughout the course of this entire game, but especially in the fourth quarter. So definitely kudos to our guys. The stats don't tell you that you won the boards, and you didn't, but you understand who you're going up against in that regard. And I thought we fought as hard as we needed to win this game, and it's going to take that effort to keep us competitive in the series going forward. So definitely love the effort, definitely love the energy, love the hustle and desperation through the first quarter and a half. We kind of in the second quarter started turning the ball over, as we mentioned at the halftime. But the pressure they put on us really forced us into consecutive turnovers. They were able to score off that, like we said in the pregame video. They just need us to turn the ball over in order for them to score enough points to beat us. If we take care of the basketball, we pretty much stranglehold their offense. Only 15 turnovers tonight. We should have been better. Some of those turnovers should have been only 11, basically. Those 4 turnovers we had in that second quarter were unnecessary. Some of them were just boneheaded. So we need to handle pressure better, and I'm sure our coach will study the film and make sure that we do. And yeah, that's what comes to mind, man. That's what comes to mind. Are we relying upon great shooting to win this series? We do have hyper-efficient players. They're going to have to continue to shoot that well on the road. And the defense has to continue to keep them under 30% from behind the arc. Because if they start hitting threes, it's a different series. And they did get some good looks out there. So these are different things I'm thinking about, man. I don't know how much of this stuff is going to be the same when they go into a different building. That's the thing. When they got the crowd behind them and we don't, how do our players, how does Rui play? How does Ayton play? How does, Kennard play? How does Vanderbilt and LaRavia look there? Jackson, how do they look there? What type of calls do we get? We got to stay on top of our stuff, because at the end of the day, the crowd ain't behind us no more. It's going to be an extremely tough environment in Clutch City, and their role players are going to be better in that situation. So that's basically what it comes down to. The next game is on Friday. This series, give me just a second. I'll let you know exactly. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern in Houston at the Toyota Center. And the following game, 4, will be on Sunday. It's 6:30 there as well. 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern on Sunday is game 4. So, yeah, man, this is what it is. We took a 2-0 lead. I still feel a great deal of urgency, great deal of humility to understand that without Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, we are still very much not good enough. So we need to be urgent in that regard to say, as long as we play with the heart that we played with, we give ourselves a chance to win these games. We happen to win those games with the chances we gave ourselves, and we need to stay humble to know what gave us that opportunity. BDL 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.